welcome to our next session. So when it comes to the Neurotech EU action plan, actually you see only 7 names. However, we are 8 individuals, and the 8th person is the Bob Harris from University of Karolinska, and he's going to be presenting his plan for his work package Neurotech EU Neurotech 2040 in the afternoon session. As you know, our afternoon session is entirely devoted to the Neurochallenges as well as our think tank Neurotech 2040. So for us, the other 7 work packages, we are going to be now presenting our overall organization. And meanwhile, let me just make myself disappear. When it comes to Neurotech EU organization, as I said, we have 8 work packages. 4 of these are what we call content work packages, and they are entirely focused on research, education, innovation, and societal impact. And the other 4 packages are the supporting work packages. So I'm going to start with the content work packages. The first one that you see, the Neurotech EU 2040, and this is our think tank organization. One of the most exciting things about Neurotech is that majority of the technologies that we are going to be using in this domain, these are not the things that we have even imagined yet. So we are slowly starting with the wearable devices. We are slowly starting with the implantable devices in order to be able to create a continuum between the body and the machine. But when it comes to having full utilization of the power that is coming from fundamental neuroscience, and it is implementation at the level of the technology, it is a field that is going to be very rapidly developing over the next several decades. So because of that, we need a think tank that is going to be able to help us to shape the future of education, research, and innovation in this particular field, so that what we are going to be able to do is that we will be able to integrate them all together at the level of Neurotech EU and create the sustainable package. So Bob Harris from Karolinska would be telling you all about it at the opening of the afternoon session. So the next content package is the Neurochallenges in Education and Research. And in this particular case, we are looking at how the education and research need to co-develop, how we can provide transformational programs in both domains. And we are going to have the presentation from Christian Hennenberg in a short while. And the remaining 2 work packages continuing in the footsteps of the looking at the Neurochallenges, but first in terms of its implementation at the domain of the technological innovation. So the fundamental research that is being developed as a result of the think tank activities and the activities at the level of the work package number 4, Neurochallenges in Research and Education, can be implemented at the level of the technology in work package number 5, which is the technological innovation. And finally, these could be integrated into the society and continually upgraded and further developed according to the needs, and that is going to be done at the level of the societal innovation. The 4 support packages are starting with general management and coordination. This ensures that the project basically successfully runs, but also continually sets new vision in order to ensure that the change in our overall goal and given achievements can be reflected in our overall progress of the entire organization. Then we do have an integrated work package, quality control and assurance. It will ensure that we would be able to, in every aspect of the Neurotech EU activities, from education to research, we would be able to provide high-level products, and while we ensure that the excellence at the level of education, research, and innovation is going to be focused in all activities. The widening access is going to target different groups of individuals to ensure that diversity is an integrated building block of the Neurotech EU, And when we think about the diversity, obviously we are thinking diversity from multiple different perspectives, not only in terms of sex, gender, but also language, religion, background, and all the different dimensions that make us individuals. So, and finally, we have the sustainability and dissemination work package that will ensure that we will be able to continue these activities going forwards beyond the original funding duration that we have. So now I'm going to briefly discuss our work package, which we are leading at the Radboud University, that is general management and coordination. So in preparation of the alliance, we have already taken quite a big step in terms of thinking about what are the critical success factors in order to create an alliance that is going to be sustainable in the long term. So we have identified 9 individual developmental targets: an actionable plan, an ability continuously set new goals, continuity and multi-year perspective, purposeful quality control and assurance system, strong program development both at the level of research and education, faculty sense of ownership to ensure that the Neurotech EU is going to be lasting long time and independent from the variable amount of funding there might be over the course of the years, competence development for students, staff, and faculty, active stakeholder participation so that we will be able to create our network, empowering talent across all levels of organization, and finally creating a management structure that is going to be not only an efficient management, but also it is going to create a transparent organization for the entire alliance. Accordingly, the proposal was written and has been successful. Obviously, these are major goals that we are trying to achieve, and each one is quite similar to actually climbing a mountain. Some of these are relatively easy to climb, the others are much harder, but we are confident that we would be able to conquer them all and finally develop a model European university with global reach. So along this way, we have already started taking action. For example, establish a Neurotech research and innovation platform in order to be able to benefit from the support structures that the Horizon 2020 is going to provide. And in this particular case, we have created a model in order to create common research and innovation agenda, share infrastructure and resources, bring companies closer to the universities so that we are going to be performing cross-sectoral innovation. We are going to work together to strengthen our human capital, as well as perform all the necessary requirements in relation to quality control at the level of the human resources, output control, as well as transfer of knowledge. And as a test bed, the graduate school that we're establishing is going to be a perfect platform, because when it comes to graduate research, it is all linked to innovation. So we would be able to integrate all these different aspects starting from next year with the graduate school already. So in order to make sure that the organization is accountable, however simple, then what we have performed is that a very simplified organizational structure, despite the large number of individuals that are involved in execution of the Neurotech EU activities, then we do have organized our workforce in work packages. Each work package is led by one beneficiary. However, all beneficiaries participate in the execution of all tasks. So collectively, we then constitute assemblies. One of them is for Neurotech EU, and our new platform, Neurotech RI, has an independent assembly of individuals. But the work package leaders are actually overlapping. This way, what we can do is that work package leaders can be represented at the level of the Board of Governors, and each university, each beneficiary has one representation at the level of the board governors. Along with 2 students, 10 members constitute this very large network's board of governors, responding to the board of rectors. So this ensures us that we can make decisions relatively simply, and the decisions can be made at a low level at the hierarchy, but the accountability is clear for everyone's perspective. So now I would like to give the floor to Joanna for the work package number 2.
Thank you, Kansu. Let's now present, sorry about the echo. Let's now present the second work package of Neurotech EU, devoted to quality control and assurance. Together with the work package, together with work package 2, with work package 1, this work package 2 is responsible of providing the tools to plan, to organize, coordinate, and in this case to control all the actions of Neurotech EU Alliance to finally ensure the quality of the education, research, and innovation we offer. Sorry, I don't know how to handle the PowerPoint slides. Can we go to the next, please? Okay, thank you. Next, please. All these tools that we are designing are following the standards of the so-called European Association for Quality Assurance in Higher Education. Next, please. There are rules very well known by the team of experts from our 8 universities that work on this package. With the leadership of Immaculada Blaya from AMH, this group has started working to meet the Work Package 2 milestone next. Some of them scheduled in the very next month, so we are running already. So this team is defining a big tool to be used for monitoring all Neurotech EU activities and processes and to evaluate the satisfaction of our students and stakeholders and to enhance our outputs. Next, please. This is the so-called Neurotech EU Education and Research Quality System. NERQ compendium and NERQ structure will define how to perform the continuous monitoring of Neurotech processes to ensure the project implementation and the achievement of our goals. Next, please. NERQ is fully transversal and along Neurotech EU and is a powerful tool for the continuous quantitative and qualitative analysis of our actions and will be used by the Neurotech EU Board of Governors to know the current situation and the evolution of our objectives and to make strategic decisions. Next. Finally, for those of you, probably most of you are not familiar with the quality control and assurance procedures, let's do a brief summary. Because NERQ doesn't measure how good are the courses, research, and other activities of Neurotech EU, whose real quality is granted by the excellence of the professors, researchers, and staff of Neurotech EU. What Work Package 2 is doing already is to put on a paper who is responsible for what, when to do something, etc. And then registering who, when, and how it was done. It will be a tangible record of how all activities of Neurotech EU have been performed with crystal clear transparency. Thank you.
So hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be here. Let me briefly introduce the work package number 4. We've already met once and the next meeting is scheduled, so let me briefly summarize what we plan to do. I'm currently not seeing the presentation. Yeah, thank you very much. Next slide, please. So the main task that we're going to have in Work Package 4 is to build the interface through which all the individuals in education and research will interact and that's going to be the aforementioned platform Campus Plus. This is going to be a central digital platform that's going to be scalable, so it can grow with Neurotech, and it's going to be accessible to everyone. That's students across all levels, the teachers, researchers, supervisors, administrators, and it's going to be the main means of communication in Neurotech EU, and it will be the platform on which we will organize face-to-face teaching, but also online teaching and also blended teaching. Next slide, please. So we will first start by creating an inventory of the teaching that is already offered by partner universities and associated partners. So then we'll have a catalog of the existing classes, courses, and modules. And then on top of that, Campus Plus will also host the newly generated online material that will be available. And the idea is then that the students use this Campus platform and basically build their own curriculum based on what is available. So they pick and choose accordingly, and so that they have at the end a customized and individual curriculum that they fulfill. Next slide, please. So the Campus Plus platform is also going to be the main communication hub for the Neurotech EU graduate school. And for that, we will capture the graduate level training opportunities that are available already and those that are going to be generated at the universities and their partners. So this could be experimental method courses or soft skill courses. And Campus Plus will also be the platform that will organize the co-supervision of students by researchers from not just the hosting institution, but also from partners across the partner universities. And the idea here being that this will broaden the angles at which people look at the theses of our students, and it will also strengthen the links in research between the partners. Next slide, please. Yeah, the third bit that is going to build on the Campus Plus is the Lifelong Learning Center. Again, here the idea is to offer a wide variety of teaching material, both online and the link to meetings in person on Campus Plus. This is going to be content that will allow graduates of Neurotech EU to continue to take advantage of what is offered by Neurotech EU, and also the means by which we information about interesting upcoming techniques, findings in neuroscience, neurotechnologies, translational research to the society at large. And then Work Package 4 is in addition going to have a pedagogy field lab because we see the necessity for developing structures and concepts for blended online teaching. What can be done online, what can't be done online, what needs to be, how do you need to structure exams, and so on and so forth. And there will also be we will also monitor the quality of the teaching and also the progress of the students and ensure the progress recognition across Neurotech EU. And that's it for the time being from Work Package number 4. Thank you.
Well, first, I'd like to mention that it's a great pleasure to be a part of this special consortium. Neurochallenges in Technological Innovation Work Package. Could we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, this work package has 4 aims, outputs of which are organized into 6 deliverables, like any work package actually. But the unique property of this work package is that it's a true integrator, and hopefully it will be also a facilitator within the Neurotech EU. And I will try to explain what I mean with the upcoming few slides. Go to the next one, please. Yeah. The first aim is to identify the neurochallenges themselves, which will be addressed with technological innovations. But it's important that they have impacts on society and economy. Could you have a click, please, here? Yeah. Well, this will be done in collaboration with Neurotech 2040. That's the think tank, as Tansu explained, of the consortium. And it will yield 2 deliverables. Could you have 2 clicks here? Right, thank you. These are the strategic plans for future emerging technologies and short-term technological innovational targets. Now, if you look at the program, already in this afternoon, there will be these breakout sessions in which these neurochallenges will be discussed and even will become identified. Next slide, please. The second aim is to integrate academia and industry. Could you have a click here? Okay. Well, one deliverable aims at bridging what you see here, Neurotech 2040, which is work package 3, campus plus graduate school lifelong learning Christian was mentioning, which is altogether work package 4, and then neurotechnological innovation, obviously work package 5. And we call this, if you have a click here, please, we call this synapse. So to link together, to integrate all these work packages and efforts. But if you think about it, societal innovation should also be going hand in hand with these aspects together. So that will be also integrated. And we'll discuss this as a great example, smart city session in the later afternoon. Another deliverable, is a unique higher education program for technological innovations. So that's inevitable to not design one. Could we go to the next slide, please? The remaining two aims are targeting a broader integration across Neurotech EU ecosystem with a specific focus on implementation and financing of neurotechnologies. Could you have a click here? To the action plan for this ISEC, or ISEC if you like, Istanbul Health Industries Cluster, is central. It's a major organization accommodating over 200 entities, including companies, NGOs, public offices, and research centers. It's supported by the Ministry of Industry and Technology in Turkey and is coordinated by Technopark Istanbul. And with incorporation of that, can we have a click here? The deliverables will include a cost-effective implementation mechanism, which we call NERQ, and also a financement mechanism, which is referred to as Neurofund. So with those together, can we go to the final slide, please? In this work package, we will therefore synapse. So can you click a few times, please? Thank you. Yeah, we will therefore synapse, we will finance and cooperate together for solving neurochallenges in technological innovation. That's going to be the integrating and hopefully the facilitating role of this work package. Thank you very much.
Work package 6 is Neurochallenges in Technological Innovation. Can I have the next slide, please? So this work package is being led by Zoltan Molnar from Oxford, and he'll shortly be presenting the Thomas Willis 400th anniversary lecture. Unfortunately, he can't be here today because he's interviewing students. Next slide, please. So this work package is all about preparing people for the challenges and opportunities that the future brings. These challenges will be many. For example, it may be helping people understand the complex interactions between the brain, individuals, and the environment to help create better cities, hospitals, schools, etc. One of the biggest hurdles in the adoption of new technologies is the lack of familiarity of the end user. So that's something we need to address. And we anticipate that Neurotech EU will inspire new and emerging fields at the intersection of neurotechnology, the humanities, and the economy, etc. Next slide, please. Oh dear. Well, I'll tell you how we'll meet these challenges. Right, so we will create a network of societal we will establish a network of societal innovation hubs, and these will bring together the relevant segments of society and Neurotech EU. We will build a community of end users and stakeholders to implement new brain technologies. We will embark on an extensive public engagement program to promote the public acceptance of new brain technologies. And we will create new degree programs at the intersection of neuroscience, technology, and the emerging fields. Can I have the next slide, please? In this slide, I hope to provide some examples of some of the wonderful initiatives that are already happening across our partner institutions. Starting at the bottom left, The Brain Diaries was a year-long public engagement programme which we ran in Oxford, and it's centred around an exhibition at the Museum of Natural History in Oxford. Moving up, Donders are already working with Museum on an interactive project that explores visual impairment. And Radboud also have the Centre for Decision Science, which enables researchers to engage with policymakers. We have a number of online resources readily available, and the next image is Sherrington's Slidebox. This has been digitised and is available online in a project led by Zoltan. Zoltan is also very much involved in the FEN's European Brain Museum project, and this hopes to bring together all the neuroscience museums across Europe. Now, I know our colleagues in Debrecen are also very interested in history of medicine, and that's why I included a picture of Hippocrates. Sapiens is a digital research magazine that's been generated by our colleagues at Miguel Hernandez. The Cortex Club is our Oxford student-led neuroscience society. They have a range of wonderful talks, and our aim is to roll these out across so students can benefit from them from across our partner community. Next image represents Open Lab, which is an open innovation community based at the Karolinska. And the last image is it's an artist impression of the new Life and Mind building, which we're building in Oxford and which will be the home for our Societal Innovation Hub. I also hope we'll be holding some of our Work Package 6 meetings there, and I hope many of you will be able to come to them. Next slide, please. And if you do, this is where we'll be having dinner. And this is the Grand Hall at St. John's, which is Zoltan's College. And can I have the last slide, please? And this is our take-home message. Thank you very much.
Our vision for widening access is that no one should have obstacles in attaining higher education, and not only higher education. So with regards to our focus and our resolve to students, we want to make sure that social background, age, gender, disability status, or any other factor is not a barrier in the educational programs of Neurotech, and this is our vision. Kindly moving forward. I want to also make a point on the output that the innovation and programs of Neurotech will have on society. As we desire to become reflective societies and integrate questions of ethics and morality, equality and diversity, the Work Package 7 will provide other work packages with necessary support to not only produce innovation, but also promote social inclusion and to have a bit step closer to a reflective society. Next slide, please. Now, for the individuals who are part of this program, be them students, staff, we want to make sure that they have equal chances in going through the program. And here I'm not only talking about structural inequalities, such as income of countries or historical funding of our universities, but also questions to universal access. And here I would like to thank one of our participants for highlighting that we could have introduced subtitles to this meeting, or an interpreter for people with disabilities. So these are the things that we will take into account in the future. Next slide, please. So our focus in Work Package 7 will be not only moving forward the motto of the European Union, unity and diversity, through safeguarding our multiculturalism and multilingualism. We want to also promote diversity of all kinds. We have a very heterogeneous group. This is a very good thing. And beyond all, we want to ensure equality and inclusion for all stakeholders involved. Next, please. Our work package activities are focused on facilitating multilingual communication, promotion of acquisition of language skills across this multicultural and multilingual dimension I've just described, but also through our colleagues in Work Package 2 of Quality Access, we want to make sure that we hard code these values into the performance evaluation component of of Neurotech, which my colleague Juana has just described, the Education and Research Compendium. We will also be providing targeted actions for vulnerable categories in countries which have yet to be, these groups have yet to be defined or mapped, such as third country nationals or refugees or any other type of vulnerable population which universities will define. Next, please. So we expect, after the first phase, to have harmonized our strategy of delivery courses and competencies across languages and across cultures. We want to have widening access as an essential component of performance in our group, but most of all, we want to focus on social inclusion. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is my presentation. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Greetings. As Tons already introduced, the task of the Work Package 8 is sustainability and communication. May I have the next slide, please? So this Work Package assembly will work all through the project duration. We have plenty of deliverables, and then we will have close contact to all work packages and all partners. Actually, we have a supportive role to support the job of the other work packages. So we are responsible for the visibility of the project, to run portals, for example, special portals for the X, Y, and Z generations, which exemplifies that the Neurotech EU is addressing or targeting not just the university students, but other generations too, including the young ones. The museum corner or the exhibitions was already mentioned. The Neuro Innovation Summit is supposed to be an annual event where everybody gathers together who is participating in the project in a rotating manner in one of the participation universities. And there is also an annual competition planned for students, like a Brain Bee competition. My other focus is on finding funding opportunities and reporting these funding opportunities, as the time frame and also the budget for the current program is limited. So these supposed to provide long-term sustainability of the alliance. It's very important that we should address the general public, as I already mentioned. So open education, open science, and also citizen science are approaches which we should support. As well as community open days and open labs will help to integrate and disseminate the knowledge we gather in the Neurotech EU to the general public. And it's finally, it's our responsibility to run public social media like Facebook, the Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. And actually, it is very important to know that what the use of this media does to our brain. So this is actually a hype and emerging field in neuroscience, what we can also study together. Thank you very much.